Hey y'all, it's Crystal. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're on day 2 of our sourdough starter series. It's time to open this guy up, who we have affectionately named Larry. Take a look at what's going on the inside of the jar and actually feed and water him. First thing I want to point out is this liquid you see right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. This liquid right here. This liquid is not a big deal, so if you see this in your starter, don't worry about it. This could be caused by one of two reasons. The first, and what I actually think is going on with this, is water separation. I overhydrated my flour. So that could be one, since we're so early in our fermentation. That's really what I believe this is, but we'll correct that today, don't worry about it. Now, further along in the fermentation process, you could actually see a darker colored liquid in your sourdough starter. And that's actually a naturally occurring alcohol called hooch, and is a very good indication that your sourdough starter needs to be fed. So if you see this liquid, no big deal. So let's open Larry up, see what's going on the inside. So taking a look from the top here, you can actually see lots and lots of bubbles. If on day 2 you don't see lots of bubbles, that is absolutely okay. I did set this next to Fred last night. Fred's a day ahead of this. By doing that, I was hoping to capture some extra yeast. Now, we capture yeast by one of two ways. By air. That is one way to capture yeast that's in your home or wherever you have this. The other way is the yeast is actually naturally occurring in the wheat berry. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to take a chopstick. You can use anything you want. You can use the handle of a big spoon, just anything you can use to actually stir this up. And now I'm just going to stir all of this together, reincorporate that liquid back in with the flour. So what we're going to do next is we're going to pour out half of this, so 1 cup. And honestly, y'all, I'm just going to eyeball it. You can get a measuring cup out if you want. I'm just eyeballing it. That looks like about 1 cup heavy right there. And now this is what we're actually going to discard. So you can toss this down the drain, or if you're like me, you can use it in quick breads, biscuits, pancakes, waffles, banana bread. You get the idea, quick breads. So the next step is we feed this guy. So we're gonna go back in with 1 cup of flour, and we're just gonna dump it in. I'm using my canning funnel just to make life a little bit easier on me. Now I have half a cup of lukewarm water. I'm gonna put about 1/4 cup. We're just gonna start with about 1/4 cup here. And now we're just gonna mix everything up. Hopefully you guys can see this. So we're just going to take our chopstick and give it a good mix. We need something a little bit beefier for this. What we're going to do is we're just making sure that all of the flour is incorporated and we have no dry flour. I'm going to put just a splash more water, and I'll show you in a second what the consistency looks like. So all done. That was easy, right? So let me show you the consistency here, if I can do it without making a mess. So we want it thicker than our pancake batter. You see how thick that is? Very, very thick. That's what it should look like right now for you. I like to keep my jars clean as possible, and I'm just going to scrape down the sides. You don't have to do this, y'all, but I like keeping my jars clean. Let's put our coffee filter back on, and now our ring. Now we're just going to let this guy rest for 24 hours. See y'all on day 3.